Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you guys a short video about my mask cleaning method for Meadow. Throughout the 5 or so years that she's had squamous cell carcinoma, we have gone through a mask journey, and this is the best way that I've found to clean her masks, and I hope that it helps somebody else who's going throughout the same thing. Everybody's squamous cell journey is very different. Squamous cell can be an enigma. Everybody's horse seems to handle it differently. Their squamous cell reacts differently. And so this is Meadow's case. So back when this all started, I only had a handful of masks. I think I really only started with 2 or 3 and would switch them out weekly. She didn't really get too much tearing outside of her allergy tearing, and they didn't really need to be changed like super frequently. As the tumor grew and it started tearing more, it needed to be changed more frequently, and these masks need to be washed more frequently. At the time, my parents didn't like me washing my horse stuff in the family washing machine, valid. So I was hand washing them at the barn, hanging them up. This was the most efficient for always having a clean mask on hand, but not the most efficient for drying or getting all this crud off of her face, or like off of the spots that it sits on her face. And so I didn't really have a lot of disposable income at the time, so I was making do with those masks. My friend gave me a mask that didn't work for her horses, and then I had 4, and that helped. There was a time where I bought GT one and it was too small for him, so then that was an additional one for Meadow. So I kind of slowly grew my collection. And then as I, got raises at my job and had a little bit more disposable income, or I got like a bonus for Christmas, I would spend a little bit on her to get her more masks. And I grew my collection, and I had like probably a working collection of like 7, I want to say, at the time. And that kind of carried me for the most part until her tumor got very weepy. And when the tumor got very weepy was actually when we started looking into getting it surgically removed. That was more when I started searching for a vet that would actually remove it. That was when I got the third opinion from a vet. So the first 2 vets said, don't remove it, just leave it alone. Do the cisplatin injections and hope that it does something. And by the time that I was weeping so much, I was like, I don't think I agree with this. I'm going to try and see. Third vet said, I think you should work on it, like get some work done on it, but I can't do that for you. Okay. Fourth vet said the same thing. I don't have the facilities to do this, but I do think it needs something done. We find a vet that will do it, who thinks it needs to be done. We get it worked on, and she has no more weepiness. And at this time, I think my collection of masks had grown to like 10 masks, but I had a lot of masks that were like on their last leg. So after getting the surgery done and after she healed, she was wearing a mask for like a week at a time, and they weren't getting very dirty. I was honestly changing them at the week point, and they didn't need to be changed. Probably could have worn each mask for a month with 0 issues. The eyes weren't tearing at all. There was no gunk on them. They were fine, but I just wanted to be healthy because she does have this going on with her eyes. So I weeded out some of the masks that weren't doing too hot, had like holes in them. Velcro wasn't doing great, or they didn't fit her well. Like I had a Kensington mask that was just short and it would like give her rubs. So I got rid of those, and I kind of weeded it down to like 3 or 4 masks, 2 Equivisors, Nag Horse Ranch, and I don't remember what, Centaur. I had 1 Centaur. Kept those, moved forward. Everything was great. That surgery was 2 years ago. Then, back in August, she starts growing this tumor on the brown side. We start taking care of her as we did with the blue side, which means putting Vaseline on her face to protect her from the drainage. And then she rubs her face in the dirt and she gets Vaseline and dirt all over the mask. So the mask had to be changed more frequently. I didn't have very many masks, so I noticed that the Noble Outfitters masks were on sale at Dover, so I grabbed a few. Ended up really liking them, so I kept grabbing them when they went on sale. I actually ended up with a collection of like I think 10 Noble masks. So right now I'm sitting at like 14, 15 masks total, and I do like a wash once a week of her masks, and they're getting changed almost daily depending on what the mask looks like, if I can brush it off, like how dirty she's made it, because right now the tumor is extremely weepy. It has a lot of discharge, and then there's the Vaseline that's on her face. We're putting a lot of Vaseline on her face because the tumor has a lot of discharge. She has the chemo ointment that's getting put on the tumor, which of course is then sticking to the mask as well. And she also has lubricating eye drops, her eye gel, to help with the eyeball itself. And with all of that, it just makes the masks a mess. So if the mask is doing all right, it can go on for another day, and if it isn't, then we change it out. So we're averaging like 5 to 7 masks a week, and they have to get washed weekly, so having a lot in my rotation is very, very handy. And at this point in time, like I said, I'm doing a wash once a week. So in this coming video, I do actually have 5 in the video, but I only show in detail 3 of them. One that's lightly soiled, one that's heavily soiled, and I show you like how I'm cleaning it, and then one that I don't really show you cleaning, but I do show you like it has a hole in it, and that's something I have to repair. So that's how I'm handling the washing duties for her masks. And going forward, I don't believe that this will be a problem that we will be dealing with for hopefully a long time, because she's actually getting surgery at UGA, and I will be doing another video on that to explain everything that's going on once I get to go visit her, and we will go on that journey together on my channel, hopefully. So I will go ahead and show you guys the video. These are the supplies that I use, and this is my bag of dirty masks from the week. This is a lightly soiled Centaur mask, just checking it over, seeing if there's any heavy spots, and there weren't, so I threw it in the washer. And then this is a heavily soiled Noble Outfitters mask, so I'm checking it over, seeing where all the soil is, and there it is. I'm using a mud brush to scrub it off. This heavy soil is a collection of the Vaseline that I put to protect Meadow's face, the discharge from her tumors, the medicine that gets put on her eyes, and the dirt that she lovingly rubs into the Vaseline and discharge. That kind of solidifies this stuff. Then I switch to the Scrub Daddy. It kind of gets off those like way harder pieces. The bristles of the brush poke through like the mesh really well, and then the Scrub Daddy gets these like really hardened pieces off. Looks a lot better. So it goes and gets thrown in the washer. Switch to the Equivisor, which is heavily soiled as well. This one, only really soiled on one side, has a hole in it that I'll have to repair afterwards. I like to check them over. Throw that in. Throw in my blanket safe wash. This is honestly the only stuff that has actually taken all the grime off of her masks. Go ahead and start the washer. I put it on deep wash, and I set it to hot water so that it can get off all the Vaseline, and extra high, as well as heavy soil and extra rinse. You can see my cat's tail. She joined me. And I also throw the Scrub Daddy in there so that I don't have to go and like hand wash it. It actually gets pretty clean in there. And you also see a couple of rags in there. Those are actually the rags that I use to wipe Meadow's face down. So they get washed with her masks as well. Once it's done, they get thrown in the dryer with my wool balls, and they just get thrown on an air dry cycle for 30 minutes. They come out mostly dry, and then they just get hung on a hanger. I do check them over when they come out. These all look really good. There's a couple like little stain spots, but we leave those alone. This is that really dirty Equivisor. It looks great now. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was my mask washing adventure. That was the best way that I have found to clean Meadow's masks. And like I said, this might be the end of an era. This might be the end of my mask washing journey. She will still be wearing masks because she still has to deal with the other side. But hopefully, since that side's under control, not very weepy, I no longer have to wash smelly, dirty masks weekly. And I mean, it would save me a lot of sanity, and I'm sure it will make her a lot more comfortable. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys on my next video explaining what's been going on with Moo. Bye!